There, a little note on for everybody, see who joins us this morning. Meantime, I'm just going to get busy making some breakfast. I'm hungry. There we go. And hopefully I don't get knocked off by everybody and their brother.
Who happens to be the President of the United States' lawyer, and confidential attorney-client privilege information was grabbed.
Oh, this guy's an idiot.
Compared to what Secretary Clinton got.
Zoe, don't stand right in front of me or I will step on you. Guaranteed. If you stand right in the middle of the floor, I have no choice but to step on you, dear. If you stand right in front of my foot, you'll get smushed. Smushed, I tell you. Smushed. Alright. I'll make some chow. I'm going to make me some chow. I'm going to have me some breakfast. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to have me some breakfast.
Come on, let me finish asking the question. A lot of people have pleaded guilty to crimes already. Their investigation is ongoing. It's not as if they're coming up with things out of thin air. Folks are going in and they're pleading guilty to crimes committed, to lying to the FBI. Do you think that they're being, I sometimes think that they're being strong-armed and that there's an entire Justice Department conspiracy to take on this campaign? Hey, James Deputy Director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, has been fired. General Counsel of the FBI, Jim Baker, has been demoted and reassigned. Deputy Director of Counterintelligence, Peter Strzok, demoted, reassigned. Lisa Page, FBI Counsel, demoted, reassigned. Those last two were on Mueller's team, kicked off Mueller's team. Bruce Orr, top official of the Justice Department, demoted, reassigned because he wouldn't even tell anyone that his wife was working for Fusion GPS. You don't think that's interesting? You know that serious stuff? Those are the top people in our Justice Department, top people at the FBI. Holy cow. So, fine, we can look at all the things you want to talk about, and those are being looked at by the Special Counsel Bob Mueller. But how about all those facts I just laid out? They need to be examined as well. I want to ask you about the speakership. Are you running? Are you interested? Do you want to be the next Speaker of the House? Paul Ryan is the Speaker of the House. There is no race for Speaker. Paul Ryan's only going to be there in January. If and when there is a race for the Speaker, I've had colleagues encourage me to consider that, and I'm going to do that. I'm open to considering running for that, but the most important thing is, by far the most important thing is, what we do in the next 6 months. And if we don't do the right things and get focused on what the American people sent us here to do, we're not going to be in the majority. So I'm focused on that and that alone. Republican Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio. Congressman, thanks so much for being here. Thank you, Jim. A lawyer with the federal court today. Michael Cohen was trying at least temporarily to stop prosecutors and investigators from using and viewing materials seized during the raid this week. Investigators searched Cohen's office and hotel room that includes all of his electronic devices. Now, the New York Times reports prosecutors also obtained warrants to seize material from the state deposit box. The lawyer for Stormy Daniels, the porn star who received over $130,000 from payment from Cohen, was also at that hearing this morning. He says he's interested in the case because Daniel's documents were some of the documents that were seized. We're here to ensure that the American people have as much access to documents and information concerning this investigation as possible. And now this from the Wall Street Journal. People familiar with the matter say Cohen negotiated a deal in late 2017.
Well, who's joined me? A YouNow person. Hey, YouNow person, how you doing? I'm getting ready to make me some breakfast. Some breakfast. Starting with some pancakes. I'm going to do a little bit of experimenting today. That's you, Sarah? You can call anytime. Can't stay crazy like that forever. Who else is joining us? Hey, Xander, what's happening? Guys, hit me up, ask any questions you want. When you do, I'll turn down the tube, just listening to a little news. Funny enough, the politics that are going on right now is more interesting than almost any drama. Gotta make some pancakes first. Yum. Doesn't matter what questions. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. It doesn't have to be on personal training or health coaching. But considering that's what I do now anyway, 25 years I was in information technology. Yep. Basically just getting fat and happy. Take a look at my wall. I used to be 115 pounds heavier than I am now and smoke cigarettes. Dumb. I could have fixed that a long time ago. But no. Alright. I'm going to try some interesting stuff today.
Why are federal investigators so interested in all of these payments? We're hearing about another one today. What could they think Michael Cohen's wrapped up in? That's a great question. He's been associated with Mr. Trump for a long time.
Starting with our base pancake mix.
First thing that comes to mind, of course, are campaign finance violations. If these payments were really intended as contributions to the public.
Nice. I never measure. I always go by eyeball. Like those. I really don't respect a bartender that has to use a shot glass every time. I mean, if you don't know how to do a proper drink by eyeball, you should be able to by eyeball. Hang on, you got a question for me there? Alright, where'd I put my old man glasses? So I don't squint at you and scare you. What about Area 52? Oh, Area 52. You mean the place in Nevada? I see. Anything is possible. But until I see it with my own two eyes. So, I personally believe that there is intelligent life elsewhere. Yeah. I don't know. I've never been there, but I'd love to go. I've seen all the documentaries on it, everything on X-Files. Let's put it this way. I've seen all of the programs, the UFO investigations, and, the fact they had some reporters that were trying to get up close and were chased away by military helicopters. It's a very restricted area. I'd be real interested to find out what's going on there. I'm sure that there's a secret aircraft they're making and testing and God only knows what. And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if there was some alien technology that we've recovered over the last 50, 60, 70 years. I wouldn't be surprised about Roswell having real technology, alien technology coming from that. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. Even just recently, within the last 2 weeks, there were two pilots in two separate planes talking to the ground control out of Phoenix, I believe, in Arizona, about a UFO that buzzed them both. In fact, buzzed the first one, and then the tower asked the other plane, "Did you see anything?" And they said no. And then a minute later, they go, "Oh yeah, well, we just saw what you were talking about." And one of them said it flashed so brightly that they couldn't look at it. Yeah, this is definitely not of Earth technology, or at least not of present time Earth. Because I'm still not convinced the possibility that our future selves could be visiting our past, right? One way or another. Yeah, it's if we survive and don't wipe ourselves out before that. Yeah, but then again, you always have that paradox. You go back, if you killed your grandfather, then you could never exist, so then you could never go back to kill your grandfather. The paradox. Anyhow, I'm going to try something interesting today with my pancakes. Pancakes have been a family tradition, my household, my father's household, my way generations. Just love our pancakes. Now this is some vanilla pudding I made, sugar-free, which is why I made it. I'm a diabetic. But this is some vanilla pudding. I'm going to put some pudding in my pancake mix today. Just maybe kick it up a bit. You got to experiment. Can't always do the same stuff all the time. Every now and then you got to go, ooh. Oh, and one other thing I was going to do today, I'm going to pre-melt some butter and put some melted butter in the batter in advance before I cook the pancakes. Yeah, genius, absolute genius, I tell you. Hang on, somebody else has popped in here. Let's say howdy do. Who's joined us? Hey, Calvin. What is a four? I'm not quite sure what you're asking there, Zender. Hey, fool, how you doing? I scissor kicked my dog now before my mom comes back home. I think you need to get your dog over to the veterinarian immediately, if not sooner. And that's horrible. Poor thing. Seriously, you need to contact somebody if you don't have a way to do it. Get a hold of somebody who has a vehicle of some sort. Get that animal over to treatment immediately. Poor thing. Why in God's name would you do something like that? I don't think so. And fool, you are not trolling further, son. No, give me a break. Seriously. Bad fool. You're blocked, crazy fool. Just fool, you're a crazy fool. And if you did that to a dog, if you're over 18 and you were in my vicinity, I would knock you on your butt. Guaranteed. Animal abuse? Fool. You dumb fool. It's not acceptable by anybody at any time. And don't come trolling my page. You're blocked right now. If you try and do anything else, fool, I'll report you and they'll knock you right off this platform. Why is it some people just cannot behave themselves? They just have to go out and troll people. Last thing you want to do is to troll this grouchy old Marine. Biggest mistake of your day, week, month, year, life. I mean, I'm easy to get along with, seriously. I come on here to help you guys as much as I can, because I know what it's like to be unhealthy. I was 115, almost 120 pounds heavier than I am now. Look at my wall. Look at my discussion wall. That was my driver's license picture when I was 252 pounds. I'm about 140, a little less, between 135 and 140 right now, depending upon the day and the time of day. Who knows the answer to this question? Your weight can vary during a 24-hour period by anywhere from how much to how much, on average, for the average person. Let's see if anybody can get that question right. I'd also like to know if any of you guys know what your BMI is, your body mass index. Your BMI index is the indication that me as a personal trainer, I as a personal trainer use to really determine what kind of health you're currently in. And it's also a good indication as to your longevity. Not kidding. These are going to be some amazingly awesome pancakes, you guys. First, I'm kicking up the batter with some vanilla pudding. Yeah. And I'll need to put a better emollient in here so that things will gel a little better. It'll cook. Hey, Wolfgang, how's it going? And just so you know, Zender, the way where we're at now in physics, in the world of, there's 11 dimensions is where we're at right now. That's the current school of thought, not just the, current three-dimensional world that, we see as humans, but there are 8 other dimensions besides that. So fourth dimension, yeah, I mean, there's an entire dimension that's linear. That's just, it's instead of being a three-dimensional, this is it's like a flat plane. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff. All right. You guys have any questions on losing weight, quitting smoking, managing back pain? How about dealing with diabetes? Any of you guys need to lose weight? My guess is yes. 2 out of 3 Americans are currently obese or overweight, one or the other. I know, I was there. Hopefully none of you guys are smokers. Mind you, we still have 45 million people that smoke cigarettes or do vape. Either one doesn't matter. Tobacco is bad for you. I don't care if you're vaping it. I don't care if you're using cigarettes. I don't care if you're using snuff. Tobacco bad. All right, now I'm gonna melt some butter and put it into the pancake batter so that instead of having to butter them after I cook them, they'll be buttered as I make them. Genius, he says. Genius, I say. If you're sitting down, stand up. One thing I'm always complaining about. We sit around too much as a society. We really do. We have become a sedentary society. I know, I was there. 25 years in information technology, I sat around all freaking day. I got really big, guys. Really, really big. What? Is there a question? Somebody got a question for me? Yes, yes. Do I eat it? Not. Hey, Sad, how's it going? You know, anytime that you consume calories after a specific, after a time period in the evening, I try not to eat anything past 8 p.m. period. The main reason is if you're consuming calories right before you're going to bed, unless it's the kind of calories, that really are okay for you, there's a few things that you can have before bed. I mean, some simple carbs, a bowl of oatmeal, cereal. I find cereal fine to enjoy before bed. So, yeah, you don't have to, but just remember, it's easier for those calories to turn into fat if you consume them right before you go to sleep, because you're not just slowing down, your entire body is physically slowing down. Your brain is going to take your body and put it into a little comatose position while you're dreaming, especially, so you don't hurt yourself. It's the interesting part about dreams, REM sleep, right? REM sleep is one of the most important things for the human being because that's when the body is really regenerating itself the most. That's when the brain is cleaning out all the stuff that's going on up there. And at the same time, your body is just frozen. Most of us, people who walk in their sleep, that gets past them. You know, their brains override that. I had a brief bout of that as a child. Woke up down in the basement in our house in Kansas. No idea how I got there, right in front of the washer and dryer. But most of us, and that's long ago. Now, anytime you're dreaming, your body is, your muscles and everything are held in place, so you don't act out your dreams. But the things that do not get frozen while you're sleeping include your breathing, your heart rate, and of course your brain activity. All of those things continue just like normal, which is why when you're sleeping and you're having a dream, your heart rate can reflect what's happening in your dream. If any of you have trackers like I do that track your sleep cycle and your heart rate and everything, it's very interesting. Over the last 3, almost 4 years now, I've determined that dream sleeping, when you're sleeping and you're having a dream, is a major effect on your heart. And if your heart is already unhealthy, in other words, you sit around all day, you don't do any exercise, you have no formal exercise routine or anything that gets your heart rate where it needs to be, 150 minutes to 300 minutes a week, depending. But if the only time your heart ever goes up to 130, 140, 150 beats a minute is if you're sound asleep and having a dream about a monster chasing you, that gives me a good indication why we're losing 90,000 people a night in their sleep. Hey Merlin, how's it going? What do you think about whey protein powder? I use it. I'm skinny, I want to build muscle. I started doing some push-ups, squats, abs. Well, Sud, the important thing about being healthy, right, is to understand the balance, right? The balance for being healthy. 75% of your concentration has to go into your diet, what goes into your system. 25% of your attention goes into your physical, your activities, your exercise. Okay, but 75% of your concentration goes on with what goes into you. I highly recommend, I don't know if you're in the United States, but even if you're not, you can still use this. ChooseMyPlate.gov. I'll repeat that. ChooseMyPlate.gov. Those are our current recommendations on what should be in your diet and in what amounts, right? And I'll break it down for you. 1/2 of your plate should be proteins and carbs, or proteins and grains. More protein or more grains than proteins. The other side of your plate, and those are whole grains, the other side of your plate should be vegetables and fruits. A little more concentration on servings of vegetables and a little less on fruits. So for a full plate, you're looking at protein, and that's just less than, let's say 20%, all right? And then grains, whole grains, that's covering 1/2 your plate, more grains than protein. Let's say 4 to 2, 4 servings of grains, maybe 2 servings of proteins a day. On the other side of the plate, the other half of the plate has to be fruits and vegetables. More vegetables than fruits, right? That's the balance. And of course, you have to have a certain amount of dairy. You put in, a couple portions of dairy a day. Low fat, non-fat. Personally, I go through about 2 gallons of non-fat milk by myself a week. I drink milk with pretty much every meal. But I've done that my entire life. Nothing's going to change as far as that goes now. Hey, Rascal, how you doing? Right? I'm real pleased, Sad, that you do have exercises you're doing, right? Because part of being healthy, if you're already at weight, I think you told me once before what your BMI was. Didn't you tell me your BMI was 21, 22? Isn't that where your BMI was, or am I thinking about somebody else? That's your body mass index number. Your body mass index number is what tells me how healthy you are. So if you know your BMI, then you're good to go. Danny Sons, Nick's. I'm not even going to try all that. Let's just go with MMA. I like that. I was doing MMA before it was called MMA. 19. Well, you're still in the healthy range. You're in good shape there, buddy. You know, the body mass index chart that tells us what healthy is. Anything between 18.5 and 25. As long as your BMI, your body mass index number, it falls anywhere between 18.5 and 25, then you're healthy. You're in the healthy range. Perfect. My BMI right now is between 21 and 22. My BMI used to be 38, almost 39. Yeah. Look on my wall, guys. Look at the picture of me on my discussion wall. I didn't do myself any favors. I got up to 252 pounds, and I smoked cigarettes for 31 years, from 15 to 46 years old. You know, I wasn't a personal trainer back then. I was in information technology, computer training. I did that for 25 years. I basically turned into a fat, happy, cigarette-smoking dad. Just about killed myself in the process, too. I'm sure I would have kicked it years ago, if I hadn't done something. Okay, so I went a little overboard and I did a little bit more than most others do. You know, that's just me. They put me on disability in 2013 because of my back. So what I do, I wrote a book. And then I trained and got certified as a personal trainer and a health coach. In fact, I just got a third ACE certification the end of last month on March 31st. I got my third ACE certification. So now I'm an ACE certified personal trainer, an ACE certified health coach, and an ACE certified senior fitness specialist. Just means that I can help my fellow boomers, get in shape and stay in shape. Thanks, I appreciate it. Oh yeah, if you'd have seen me 10 years ago, no, well, 13 years ago at my heaviest, if you'd have seen me 13 years ago, I was big. My waist was about 44, 46. It's about 31, 32 now. But I was real big. Ooh. That's why I got diabetes. When you get heavy, when you get overweight, it's real easy to get diabetes. The insulin that your pancreas has to put out gets to such a level, the pancreas basically goes, I ain't doing it anymore. It will go on strike. But once your pancreas goes on strike, you're screwed. Well, I want to be a bodybuilder now. I'm 182 centimeters and 60 kilograms. I want to reach 80 kilograms of lean muscle and 8% body fat. Can I do it? Well, yeah. My body fat right now is just under 6%. So, yeah, for you, that's easy to do. All right, and yeah, you can put on muscle. Like I say, the key, remember, this is the key. You're basically looking for a positive energy balance at the end of the day. Very simple. On average, you're going to burn about 2,000 calories, right? Just because you're breathing every day. Every 3,500 calories that you consume that you don't burn off with your exercise and your daily burn off anyway, you can add an additional pound. Now, most of the time, people that are consuming an additional 3,500 calories, in general, that's turning into a pound of fat. You have the choice to turn it into a pound of muscle. Okay? And remember, muscle weighs more than fat, literally. So you can put on muscle and you're going to weigh more bulking up than if you were putting it on in your stomach, for instance, just as fat, because you just ate too much. 2/3 of America is where I used to be. 2/3. Yeah. 1 out of 3 people right now are obese. 1 out of 3 people right now are overweight. And only 1 out of 3 people, like you, Saad, have a normal BMI. Only 1/3 of America is currently even close to healthy. It's crazy. The numbers are absolutely insane, you guys. That's one of the reasons I try to get on here when I can. Hey, YouNow person. What I highly recommend, lean proteins. Okay, lean proteins. You know, that and make sure that you're incorporating the proper resistance training. I'm talking weight training. I don't care if it's, free weights with dumbbells. I don't care if it's on the machines. I don't care if it's bands. Doesn't matter. Just incorporate the proper amount of resistance training and give yourself at least 24-hour interval between sets so that the muscles can recuperate. Remember, the entire point of resistance training is overload. You're overloading the muscle. So that muscle fiber will tear down and rebuild in order to compensate because you overloaded it. And then you progressively build that up. That's why last year in October, early November, my progression for my personal routine kicked me up to a 35-pound kettlebell. I'm from a 30-pound to a 35-pound kettlebell. That's my personal progression. Just like as I was moving up over the years from, 10 pound, 15 pound, 20 pound up to 25-pound dumbbells, right? General progression over time allows the muscles to get torn down and build up even bigger. So if you have a goal to get to a certain size, you can do that. Just remember, take the time to do it properly. Watch your form. I highly recommend, at least initially, go in the gym and take a few minutes of a personal trainer's time so that they can help you put together a good routine and make sure that you're doing things properly. Because even with light weights, with resistance training, the repetitive motion over time, if you're doing it incorrectly, you can do bad things, to your rotator cuff. You can mess up your ACLs in your knees. Things that you can do that, if you're not doing the proper form, while you might be building some muscle, you could also be building some problems. So form is extremely important. Nope, not even close. I'm not a vegan. In fact, I could do commercials for the beef industry. But, and I recommend this highly, 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 lean cuts, grass-fed beef if at all possible. In fact, grass-fed everything. I got rid of margarine years ago. I don't touch margarine. It's palm oil, palm kernel oil. That's 84% saturated fat. That's the stuff that lines your artery walls and gives you, that's the plaque that gives you the arterial sclerosis that causes heart attacks. And when it happens in the widowmaker, the main artery, most of the time people don't survive a heart attack in the widowmaker. Anyhow, you guys, I'm going to keep on making my pancakes here. Now, I've already kicked these pancakes up with some butter and some vanilla pudding. Ooh, gonna be so good. Now, one thing I highly recommend, find a way to incorporate olive oil into as much stuff as you can. And if you get the extra light, and it doesn't really matter the brand, just make sure it's fresh. But if you get the extra light, it'll go in anything. So I'm going to use a little bit in my batter. 1, as an emollient. And 2, it's good for the heart. And instead of using this to get my pan ready, I want to use grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil. It's got a very high burn point. I think I'll put a touch of this in here as well. Very good monos and polys. Here we go. All right. So we need to get this pan going, get this griddle going. One of the key things to remember when you're making pancakes, French toast, anything like this, you got to have it properly heated. Very much like using a cast iron skillet to cook your steaks in. You got to give it the time to heat up and get to the heat you want it to be. Otherwise, you put a pancake in there and it'll just be doughy and icky and it won't set up properly. Let's put it that way. All right. Now, how close are we on the batter? Pretty close, pretty close. A little bit more water. They should be amazing. And usually I'll pick them up with some extra cinnamon. I might put in some orange peel, some allspice, some nutmeg. I've got a whole rack of spices over there. I like to experiment. But since I put vanilla pudding in this one and some melted butter, I just want that smooth flavor. Just keep it simple today. Pinch of salt. You have to have a pinch of salt anytime you're making something sweet. A little pinch of salt. Truly, our taste buds are built in such a manner so that the savory, when they're activated, enhances the sweet. It's interesting. But that's why you'll also find a lot of dark chocolate comes with sea salt. Just that combination, the savory and the sweet together. All right, so the batter's ready to go. And you're wondering, hey, Brad, how do you know when your griddle's ready? How could you possibly tell? What's that? You got a question? Well, thank Narzio. Hey, Nazro, how's it going? Well, I haven't finished making anything yet. We're just getting started here. As a matter of fact. Just getting going. Gonna get some more juice. Here's how I test my griddle. Get a little bit of water. Do you hear the sizzle? Slight sizzle? Getting very close. Very close. Grapeseed oil has a very high burn point, so you're not going to see the pan start smoking because it's grapeseed oil. So for me, the water test, that's key. That tells me. And we're getting close. Not quite. We'll give it another minute. In the meantime, a bit of orange juice. This is that low sugar one. Orange juice. I've got cran blackberry, but today, cran pineapple. This stuff is awesome. Kind of looks a little bit like a tequila sunrise. With no tequila. Just orange juice and cran pineapple. Oh, so good. As a type 2 diabetic, I got to watch my blood sugars as well. When you let yourself get up to almost a 39 BMI, you really can't complain when they say, hey, you have diabetes. I did it to myself. All right, here we go. Pancake number 1. The test pancake, if you will. The test cake. Now, I've never made pancakes that I put pudding in before. So this is going to be real interesting. Very interesting. Give it enough time to set up. You want to look for the bubbles on the top. Okay. So far, all's well. Good, good. Keep going. Nice. All right. Looks good, you guys, so far. The test cake is coming out well. What is it? So who else wants to share their BMI with me? Saad shared his BMI. Share your BMI with me. Does anybody else know what their BMI is? Who joined us? Gotti? Gotti, go. Was that 2 T's or 1 T on the Gotti? If that was 2 T's, you might be related to John. First pancake done. What do you think, you guys? I think it looks pretty darn good. Into a pre-warmed oven. Clean off the grill. On the pancake number 2. These vanilla pudding pancakes look like they're going to be pretty darn good, you guys. Oh yeah, very good indeed. Hit me up with any questions you guys have. Challenge me. Go look at Pushing Double Nickels on Amazon. That's my book. My first book. Book number 2 is coming very shortly. I'm just putting out a little booklet to help people lose weight. Just finished the food log. For those of you who watch me regularly, I've been telling you I've been getting that food log done. It's done. So now I've got my updated tool to help people lose weight. Basically, just the same thing that I did. Oh yeah. Setting up nicely. Don't be giving me a hard time now. There we go. One thing you always want to remember, keep your spatula clean. Oh, very nice. Look at that beautiful golden color. Oh, just amazing. Here, I'll bring you over. Oh, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Not bad, huh? So what should I have with it? You guys, any suggestions? I think I'm probably just going to make a fried egg and put it on top. Who's popped in? Who's joined us? Coulter Sims. How you doing, Colt? Glad you could join us. I'm making breakfast and answering any questions you guys have. Nobody's hit me with a tough one yet, though. So far, you guys have been lobbing me softballs. Come on, hit me with, you throw me a curve or a nice hard slider. Can you tell I played baseball in high school? Like my ball. Like that. Ooh, pancake number 3. Once all these pancakes are done, you guys, and I'm going to feed my face with them, I will be saying tutu, ta-ta, toodaloo for today. Anyway, nothing worse than making people watch you eat. I just can't understand that. And what's with these sleeping squad people? Whitesnake, what's happening? Aries guy, Dino, glad you could make it, you guys. Seriously, sleeping squad. Any of you guys do that? Who wants to watch people sleep? Come on, that's just creepy. Sleeping squad. Batter up. Anybody else want to share their BMI with me today? Your body mass index number? Anybody know? Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Oh, so good. Woo. What is it? Somebody got a question? Hit me up. Hey, just chilling around listening to music. Glad you can make it. Hope you're listening to some Whitesnake. Always jamming to some good music. Alexa, say hello.
Hi.
If any of you have the Amazon Alexa, or the Amazon Echo, the Dot. Oh, these are going to be awesome. Remember, I put vanilla pudding and I put melted butter in the pancake batter. Oh, genius, I say. Just genius. Even if I say so myself. Oh. And of course, once I go to eat them, the mooches are going to come after me. You guys have mooches? Huh? You betcha. Check it out, guys. I got mooches. Mooch number one, my 18-year-old tabby cat. Say hi, everybody. 18 years old. There's Zeke. Does anybody want a taste? Let's see if I can sneak them in here in the kitchen. Don't take much. If they think they might be getting food, they'd be in here so fast. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not at all. And I appreciate you being respectful. Too many people come on here trolling on this site. I cannot understand. A friend of mine was broadcasting the other day and she had somebody come trolling her. I'm like, what's up with that? Never, ever, ever any need to be disrespectful. In fact, I got a chapter in my book all about that. See if I can remember how I worded it. Oh, yeah. There's never a good reason for bad behavior. That's how I put it. Mashed potato, like mashed potatoes. Love it. That's good. I tell you this much: my YouNow fans are some of the most creative people ever. So far, this year on this platform, I've helped about 6 people quit cigarettes. I'm off YouNow. I'm helping about 10 people currently right now with their weight issues. I'm helping one lady gain weight. She's anorexic. And we're working on that with her doctors as well. As a certified personal trainer, but more importantly, a certified health coach, I work with doctors as well as the clients, especially when they have special needs. Like me, I'm considered, severely and permanently disabled. If you saw the MRIs of my back, you'd go, ooh. Which is why I'm always complaining. Get off your butts. Sitting around too much, too often, especially if you get heavy, that can do permanent damage to your lower back and your other areas down there. Oh, these pancakes are going to be awesome. Absolutely awesome. Hit me up with any questions you guys have, you guys. Take advantage while you got me here. I can literally cover pretty much any topic you can think of. Go look at the table of contents on Amazon for pushing double nickels. Pick any of the topics on there you want. I got 80 chapters in that book. I cover a lot of stuff. This year I'm helping people quit smoking for free, by the way. So if any of you are ready to get rid of these or the vapes, tobacco, just reach out to me on any of my platforms. I'll do it free. Yeah. My specialty, more importantly, I'm a certified health coach. That's like a personal trainer times 10. The ACE certified health coach, I had to get the ACE certified personal trainer as a prerequisite. So yeah, as a personal trainer, I can help people get in shape and, et cetera, et cetera. But as a health coach, and that's the one I wanted, my specialties are helping people lose weight. And right now, 2 out of 3 Americans are either overweight or obese. And I help them right from the comfort of their own home. I do Skype with most of my clients. But I used to be 115, almost 120 pounds heavier than I am now. And I smoked cigarettes for 31 years. I didn't do myself any favors. Ooh, good pancakes. But yeah, I got rid of the cigarettes almost 13 years ago. I took 8 years to walk off 115 pounds from 2005 to 2013. And then when they finally diagnosed what the freak was going on with my back, they put me on permanent and severe disability because of it. So what I do, I wrote a book, then became a certified personal trainer, a certified health coach, and as of the end of last month, I want to keep my health still, maybe help pay my bills and then some. Well, yeah, it's absolutely, it's a huge. Well, that's just it. I became a personal trainer just 2015. And I haven't been doing business as a personal trainer. I haven't been charging anybody anything for my services yet. Most of what I've been doing has been volunteer. I'm more of an author these days. But my personal training and health coaching, that's part of my give back. Although I do have a book that I'm going to put up on Amazon shortly, another book, book number 2. But this is going to be a small booklet. I guess you could say losing weight for dummies kind of thing. 2 out of 3 Americans need to lose weight. 2 out of 3 Americans are currently where I was, either overweight or obese. We're talking over 200 million Americans out of 322, 323 million. I mean, we're talking a lot of people. So if your BMI is not where it needs to be, that's one of the things I specialize in. And it really does come down to portion sizes. You'd be surprised. I still eat all the things I ate before. But the portion sizes, way down from where they used to be. Way down. My activity levels, way up. That's what I preach now. It all comes down to 75% your diet and 25% your activity levels. Yeah, make certain choices in life, so I want a fast cut. About meat. Hey, meat's fine. Protein. complete balanced protein. I eat beef. I highly recommend grass-fed. And if you're going to have any kind of meat, make sure it's lean. And it should be a very small part of your diet compared to your vegetables, your fruits, and your grains. You should have more vegetables, fruits, and grains in your diet than meats or proteins. Now, of course, you can get proteins from other sources. But if you're a meat eater like me, there's nothing wrong with it. Once again, it all comes down to portion sizes, literally. Right? Of course, if you're eating a high saturated diet, high saturated fat, high saturated cholesterol diet, then yeah, that's going to have to eventually change as well. Initially, though, if you're in a position where you need to lose weight, right off the bat, it's going to come down to portion sizes right away. That's why Dr. Now, I watched that my 600-pound life show. I have to. For me, that's what I do. I have to understand the mentality, how people think to get to 600 pounds. I mean, I can't imagine getting to 600 pounds. Ooh, one more pancake, you guys. Woo, yay! Oh yeah, very lean. The leaner the better. And remember, the size, portion size, about the size of a deck of cards. So you want to have a steak, you want to have some steak, that's fine. But for each meal that you're going to have steak, it should be about the size of a deck of cards. Portion sizes. You want to have meat, fine. Make sure it's lean, right? And that's your filet mignon, that's your top sirloin. Those are your leaner cuts. And again, if you go to choosemyplate.gov, that's www.choosemyplate.gov, it's going to show you exactly what our current recommendations are as far as what you should be eating at your meals and in what amounts. Very simple. Fruits and vegetables should be half your plate. The other half are proteins and grains, with more grains than protein, and more vegetables than fruit. But the bottom line is having a negative energy balance at the end of the day versus a positive energy balance. Do you know what a negative energy balance is versus a positive energy balance? You know what I'm talking about there, White Snake? Excuse me while I soak this pan. A negative energy balance versus a positive energy balance in the world of fitness, and especially in the world of weight loss, simply means that at the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of the year, you've burned more calories than you've consumed. That's a negative energy balance, which is what everybody should be striving to achieve. Or at the very least, equilibrium. For those of us who are already in shape that don't need to lose any more weight, and I've been in maintenance mode for about 5 years now, when you're in maintenance mode, you don't need to put on any weight, you don't need to take off any weight. Your BMI is in the healthy place where it needs to be. Then you simply become in maintenance mode. Oh, good stuff. Pancakes are done. Hey, Minion, how's it going? Ferris, good to see you. Yep, so yes, not just lean meat, Grass-fed. If you can do grass-fed, I highly, highly recommend it. Seriously. And don't always eat beef. Get in some fish. Seriously, good fish. I mean, anything that's got your omega-3s, your omega-6s, salmon, awesome. Tuna fish, awesome. All right. Just be careful if you're pregnant, if you're planning on having kids, if you have anything going on in that area. The amount of lead in some of the tuna. Be real careful on how much tuna you have if you're planning on having kids or you know what I'm saying. All right. So, pancakes are made. I'm going to have, I think I'm just going to do some scrambled eggs. Or better yet, I think I'm just going to do a quick omelet to go with this. That will let me kick in some of my favorite things. Some of my favorite things. And you. First things first. Some onions. What is it? Hey again. Hey Sod, you're back. Yep, pancakes are done. I'm going to make myself just a bit of an omelet. Nothing big, just some of my favorite things. Starting with a little bit of sweet onion. Saute it up a little bit. All right. So. There. Very nice. Get a little bit of onion going. What is it? Is it? For counting calories, anything that counts calories is okay by me. I don't particularly use any fitness app myself. I have my own chart that I use. In fact, I just updated it, and I'm handing it out to some folks right now. But yeah, anything that tracks calories, in my opinion, is a good thing, because that's one of the things that we need to do a little bit more of. Not just the calorie tracking, but the portion sizes. But yeah, the bottom line is if you are in the position where you need to lose some weight, or if you're trying to gain weight, either way, then yeah, counting calories is something that comes in very handy. All right. So we're going to do a bit of, I'm going to saute some onion here real quick. Now, you want to kick up your onions. I like to use ghee. One of my favorite things to cook with. And every morning, When I get up every morning, before I do anything else, to have my morning meds, I will down a chunk of this. So good. Grass-fed ghee. Mm-mm-mm. Good fats. Oh, yeah. Now, I'm going to kick up these onions with just a little bit of cooking sherry on top of the ghee. Touch. Put in a pinch of kosher salt, just a pinch. A little bit of black pepper. Nice. No barking. All right, let's get those ready. Here, pan.